I want to get into this quickly because I've seen a few videos lately that have put out some fake images, such as this one. Now, I want you to look at this because every single thing on this image is 100% fake. It's been created in some app. I don't know what sort of app it is. I've still got the same phone that I told you that I have, but it's all swirls. If you look closely, I will zoom in on it. It's created, the rock, the grass, the bull, even its horn is just a dark line. It's created with these swirls. You can create rocks, outcrops of rocks, different patterns, wallpapers. It's 100% fake. So, like, I've got into fake artifacts, like the one on the left is basically plasticine that's been sprayed or been manipulated with an app. One on the right is obviously fake, but some channels will put it out as being real, okay? So this image here had been used in the past when I first got into this information, and it was always put out that the ancients had some type of frequency weapon, and they were able to soften rock and build some of the structures that they show you. But this is what I have brought to the table. It's one of the things I will get into in the next video that I just mentioned, and obviously this was some type of mud, clay, might have even been solidified concrete, lime, the same as this here. This is one of the towers in collapse, which was brought down on purpose, and it is dustified. Well, it fell through the floor, through ground level into the car park and the shopping centre in dust, okay? From all the bus pipes, running water, rain, it solidified the entire mass and turned it basically into limestone. That's what you're looking at here. So keeping that in mind, what I've just shown you, this is Göbekli Tepe before they began excavating the site. I'll leave it in your hands if it's the same as what we've just been looking at. You can see the arrows that I've layered over the screen there. It's exactly the same as the car park building behind. It's what it was built upon. It's solidified concrete. So this is a collapse of a building. I don't know what from, if it was knocked down or an earthquake, but you can see where the rebar has pulled out of the concrete, leaving holes in it, yes? Like I've got into, not every time that you see an hole in these old ancient structures in Egypt and Peru were they caused by some type of core drill hole. It's where the rebar was, or some type of connection. The same with this image here. Now, I've got a few images on this, and main reason why I'm sharing about 4 or 5 images on this site here is that these giant trees here that are just growing from the roof. Now, I just can't seem to imagine how trees that size have been able to grow on the tops of these roofs and the roots spread out everywhere, unless these things must have been covered in soil at some stage and it's all being washed away. Think about that for a second, because I just can't see it. And like this roof here that I've circled, when I get into how everything's petrified, solidified, calcified, well, what were these tiles made from? Were they made from pottery? Like our tiles today, because everything in this image is all made from the same material now. It's all the same type of rock. Well, you wouldn't be making tiles for your roof out of rock, would you? So how has that happened? These are the H blocks from Pumapunku. I've shown you the one on the right before. I did and still am getting a few messages from butthurt people in this field saying that these blocks aren't concrete, they are andesite. Well, I suggest that you keep staring at the image that I've just put on the screen for you. So that, I mean, because these next few images here, I still don't know what. Look, I have made a couple of videos showing you how many of these walls have been made with sacks, sandbags. I've shown you the imprints of the actual sacks, for God's sake. I've shown you some walls that seem to have been smeared into a framing, and the wooden framing has rotted away, leaving something that looks like blocks. The areas that I've circled in red here kind of lean towards that. But every wall isn't built the same, so I will leave this one in your hands. I want to get on to the ending of the video. But this image here, this last one on these blocks here in Peru, they say that a later advanced civilization built on top of something that was less advanced, and that's what you're looking at with the bottom section. But I don't think that whatsoever. It makes no sense why an advanced civilization will come and build on something so crappy. It's obviously cracked when this thing was first getting built before the mud, rock, I don't know what it is, solidified and calcified. Anyway, in the last video, or the video prior to that, I showed you the image here, and I said that I couldn't find the original one that showed how it used to be an attic of a building that was still buried, and the square framing that you're looking at just looked like it was the square framing where you climb into your attic. Well, I found the images here. It's not the exact one that I showed in an earlier video from about 2 years ago, but it's good enough. And I'm going to zoom in on some areas for you, because it turned out that this image was about 2,000, 3,000 size. So I could cut it down for you, give you a closer look at the whole area.